What's up, champions? It's Justin, founder of AutomationMaster.net, and I'm just glad to be able to be here with you. I'm glad to be able to be a part of this particular summit. I appreciate the invite, and I know there's been a lot of content today, and there's going to be more content after me. And so I just want you to just take some time, strap yourself in, get ready to take some notes, and just discover some things about your business. I mean, at the end of the day, DIY is dead. And so doing it yourself should not be a thing. So that's kind of what I'm going to get into today as we hop into the session. So, as you find me on social media. If you have questions, tag me and I'll try to address and help you in the comments, in the chat, and things like that. Otherwise, just dig in and enjoy. So let's go ahead and get into this. Today, we're going to talk about how to use the SOS method to increase revenue in your coaching business without exchanging more time for money. So, what, Justin, what does that mean, really? At the end of the day, my goal for you is to make sure that, one, this session is impactful, right? Like, I don't want you to leave here without getting some good information. Two, I want you to know, like, if you take this information and you actually apply it, right, your chance of success immensely grows. Now, I know there's a lot of information that gets thrown at people, but only a certain percentage of people actually implement. And so today I want to give you some things that you can implement and help take you to the next level. Now, if you stay to the end of this, I have a free gift that will help you get results even faster. So just make sure you hang in there with us because we have something for you. Now, what makes this different? Again, most folks go into sessions like this, they listen to trainings. A lot of times, folks just give out motivational rah-rah stuff. And nothing against the motivational people, because I used to be a motivational person. And I still like to say that I share a good motivational tidbit here and there. At the end of the day, that is not what will push the needle. Again, it will be helpful and spur you forward for a little bit. But I want to make sure you get some tactics. I want to make sure you get some principles. Make sure you get some information you can take and use in your business today. And as with anything, if you take action with this, there is actual success that can be had, versus you just taking notes. So just make sure of that. Now, again, my name is Justin Morgan, and I assist, I work with coaches and speakers to create automated systems that save time and multiply revenue. So my goal, again, if you're a coach, speaker, trainer, if you're an author, entrepreneur that needs to speak from the stage, that wants to have a course, that you want to coach people, you want to simplify your time, that's what I do. Been doing this for quite a while. Now, I've done a lot of things wrong right in that amount of time, right? So I've done a lot of things right in the time that I've been doing this. And I've done quite a few things wrong. That's actually, I call it, folks would say it's kind of the school of hard knocks. That's where I get my degree in this stuff. It's just I've been through it, been through the ups, downs, the good, the bad, the mistakes, the colossal mistakes, and the fabulous wins. So, been through it all. Now, here's a little bit about me, right? So again, I'm back. It's me. So if you didn't know me, again, I've been at this for about 6 years. It's not new for me. Now, when I first started out this journey, as I said, I was a motivational guy, and it was okay, right? Like I had seen the Eric Thomases and the Les Browns and the Tony Robbins, and I felt like it was the thing to do. Like it was my calling. And so I remember that I was at an event, right? It was actually a live event. It was actually the biggest opportunity in my life, on the biggest stage of my life, in front of the biggest crowd of my life. And I remember I'd done all the work, right? I had presentation like this done, made sure it was clean. I'd spent hours and hours making sure my website was right. And I just made sure everything flowed properly for the event. And I remember I was sitting there, or not sitting, but I was standing on stage, and the last slide fell away from the screen. And I heard all the applause, right? People were cheering. I was excited because at that point in time, I felt like I had finally hit the breakthrough I've been waiting for my entire life. Like I had finally hit that point where I was going to make it. Like I've been working to this moment for years, right? And at that point in time, and if you don't know presenting, because again, I was excited. After you present, there's a thing that somebody said. I don't know who coined the term. The fortune is in the follow-up, right? So after I was done presenting, people had shown they were interested in talking to me. So I had to go back and forth and play this game of phone tag and getting people on appointments and all that fun stuff, right? It's all stuff that has to happen. And I remember being on the last appointment that I had scheduled from the event. And I'm actually on the road. I'm in the passenger seat with my wife. She's driving and graceful enough to do that. I remember being on the phone. We're going back and forth. And I think we pulled over or had a pit stop or something like that. And I'm on the phone with the prospective client. And then we get to the end of the call. And, ultimately I'm like, hey, so what are we going to do? She's like, and she says, no. I'm like, okay. Now, that no means a lot of things for different people in different scenarios. In this particular day, in this particular scenario, that no for me meant that all the work that I put toward this event was for naught. Because at the end of the day, I came up with 0 sales. None. Like all the work I had done in this event, 0 sales. I thought I was on the edge of my breakthrough, but I got 0 sales. And I don't know if you've ever felt this way, if you put all of your energy into something only for it to fall through. You felt like you were at the cusp of reaching your success and your break point, and you just didn't make it. Like you felt like you were on the right track and you were doing things right, only for everything to just completely fail. And that's how I felt at that moment. I felt lost. Right? Being on the road was very appropriate at that point because I felt like I didn't know what map to follow or what the next turn was. So I had to figure out like what to do from here because ultimately I did all this work and now what's next, right? Like I had nothing to show for it. And just like when you're lost, right, I had to take some time to kind of take a detour, right? And when you're taking a detour, right, there's a sign, but then there's also traffic, right? So when you're lost, a lot of times you follow the traffic first and you see what they're doing, what turns they're making, what steps they're taking. And I had to pretty much do the same thing in my space. I had to look at the other speakers, the other coaches, the other trainers, and see what they were doing, what turns they were making, what tactics they were implementing. And so after doing all this for long enough, I realized like what the problem was. I realized where my issue was, like where I had fallen on my face, essentially. And after really observing, right, I then understood like they had a certain way of doing things, had a certain way of building out their websites, had a certain way of presenting, have a certain way of their sales process, certain ways of setting appointments. Like there was a system behind all of it. It wasn't by chance. And so what I want to stress is that like after I figured that out, things changed. After I finally realized like the power of having a system and I got on the other side of that idea and that knowledge, that's when I was able to get into this space of first working with coaches and speakers and then seeing them succeed, right? Because I was working as an understudy. I got myself a mentor. I made sure I learned from someone that knew something more than I, that had expertise than me. And so I just remember when I was working in that space, finally seeing, us as a team make income and revenue based off of these systems that they had in place. Like I just realized the power in all that. I realized the mistakes I've been making, after doing this for so long. Because again, I've been doing this for a while, right? I've been doing this for quite a while. Now, after doing it for 6 years, right, I realized, look, it doesn't depend on, getting into this coaching space, right? It wasn't about, you writing 2 books a year. It doesn't require months spent on YouTube University learning to be a tech guru. It doesn't require every possible coaching certification to add to your resume. Now, I thought these things were essentially like what I needed to do, what I needed to learn, the strategy I needed to implement. Because before this, I had written a book, right? I had written a book. Before this, I had watched all of the YouTube videos. Before this, I even considered getting a life coaching certification to think that was going to fix things. And I realized it doesn't require me to trade my time for a little bit of money. Like, you don't need to be out here in your coaching business, essentially feeling like you're a slave to somebody, stuck on these calls where you're pretty much getting paid nothing for the hour. Like, you're just replacing your job at that point in time. You're not really creating a business. Now, obviously, I discovered this the hard way, right? Today, you get to cheat and get the easy way. And so, again, the hard way was you can watch hours of videos, courses, and only to implement a fraction of the information, right? You can do all the training you can to tear down the stage like your favorite speaker. And I get it. I did that. Now, you can coach all your clients one-on-one, doing all the work yourself through the entire process. Now, have y'all ever got a client, right? You're like, hey, this is gonna be fun. They're gonna pay me $500 for the month. I'm gonna do, 8 coaching sessions for the month. And then after you get past that, like, third coaching session, you realize that this is like the dish that you cooked up where there's an ingredient missing. Something's not right. Doesn't taste good, doesn't feel good. Your belly starts to ache, right? Something is off, right? And you hopped into this thing thinking, hey, I got it. Like, this is going to be great, and just realize this is not what it was cut out to be. Like, it just wasn't it doesn't feel right. It feels like you're doing more than you should be for not enough. And that's the common experience, right? That's the hard way of doing it. Now, I want the easy way, right? I want the easy way. And that's what actually helps you grow your revenue while saving time, right? Want the easy way that actually grows your revenue while saving time, right? That, the old way of doing things was, hey, I go on stage right after I get my certification. I do hours and hours of training. At the end of the day, then, I get folks and I say, hey, check out my bit.ly link at my website, buy my book. And then maybe they end up in an appointment with you. Maybe you have a table at the back of the room and you have a bunch of books laid out and folks come and kind of buy your book, right? Because they pity you or they know you. And that's one way. The other one is, of course, the spammer, the folks who go on to social media and they're just putting out your opportunity, just getting crickets, right? That's the other way. You don't have to do it that way. Like that is the probably worst way to do it. And the other example was, again, you're coaching by the hour, right? And you're not getting much back from it. I call it coach's math, where folks are just, again, you're replacing your job. You think you're making good money, but at the end of the day, when you break it down by the numbers and the hours, you're not making much. And some of you are making less than you would have if you're working on your job. Now, if that's what you want to do, and that's your prerogative, you can. This is not for you. I want the folks who are ready to leverage their time and do it the new way. And the new way is about understanding the power of systems. And specifically, the system that we talk about is automation. It's the power of using technology and systems to be able to make more while doing less, to be able to coach more people with less effort, to be able to make more money in the same hour, to be able to have time, energy, and focus to just spend time in your gift, spend time in your expertise, and don't have to feel like you have to be alone in your business and being the solopreneur that you were not meant to be. Again, you have a vision and a goal that was meant to be shared with the world. And the only way you're going to get it out there is if you have other folks supporting you. Now, I want to tell you, again, we're going to get into this. And results are not typical. And that is because typical people don't take action on the information received in these trainings. Again, you've gone through a lot of trainings today. And unfortunately, some of you just are going to watch and you're not going to do anything with it. There's going to be another group of you who actually take the information but don't use it long term. And there'll be a few of you who actually take what they've cherished today, the information they've gleaned today, and actually put a plan and a consistent series of actions behind it. Most of you won't. That's a shame. But for the folks who do, again, results don't have to be not typical or atypical, right? You can get something from this. I'm going to give you some things that can change the way you operate your business today. Now, what you're going to discover is, one, how doing less will ensure you make more in your business. Number 2, the concept you can implement right now to transform your business. And the secret number 3, a concept that will uncover revenue you swept under the rug. Now, secret number 1, how doing less will ensure you make more in your business. Now, there's a couple guys that I work with, and some folks who are watching this may know, some folks may not know. That's fine. We'll just call them Tim and Chris for now. Now, Tim, big marketing and, pretty much a very creative guy, right? He's a very creative guy. Chris, very good at sales and operations and things of that nature. Now, the problem they had was they were doing these live events. And while these events were great, they spent most of their time, unfortunately, being stuck trying to run the event itself, right? Making sure that the equipment was set up and everything was running, being a host, making sure that folks are ready and on time and ready to speak. Like, it was a lot for them to handle. And the problem was, well, they didn't have time to do what they needed to do, right? They didn't have time to actually spend with the people who are prospective clients. And they brought me on. So again, I got to get a chance to go to the events and then learn how they operated. And they brought me on to run the technology for them. And what that allowed them to do, what that allowed them to do was spend more time with clients, spend more time with folks having conversations, spend more time out there, making money. It freed them up, right? So at the end of the day, they actually did less and made more. They were able to go out there and close the 5-figure deals at the event when there were other people at the event who felt like the well was dry. There was no money in the room. No, because they had the time to actually spend and cultivate and create relationships and have conversations. They were able to do that. And again, they did that while doing less. So less for them was more. Just kind of wanted to stress is less is more. Okay, so I just want you to imagine, right? The opportunity to be able to focus in your business on what you do. So if your specialty is speaking, if your specialty is sales, if your specialty is coaching, if your specialty is teaching, what would it mean for you to be able to sharpen and just spend all your time increasing that thing, right? Imagine you are a high-performing athlete. Imagine you're a doctor, a surgeon, and you just had the time to work on your ability to do surgery, to be able to master that new age art that no one else can, right? To be the next game changer. Imagine you're an artist, right? You're a singer, right? And you be able to just spend all of your time on your craft and getting better at it. And how much better of an artist or speaker or singer you'd be. It's the same thing as speaking and coaching, right? It's an art. And so if you're fixating your time on things that don't matter, you're not growing your art. Ultimately, you're not maximizing the value you're meant to offer. And so that's why it's important to simplify things and to kind of take a step back. Okay? Take a step back and simplify and do less in your business. Okay? So that's secret number 1. Secret number 2 is the concept you can implement right now to transform your business. Now, I call this the SOS method, right? What does that mean? Okay. Simplify, optimize, systematize. Simplify, optimize, systematize. Now, it's fairly straightforward when you think about it. Ultimately, we talked about the first step just slightly a little bit a minute ago, and that's when we talked about how they were doing less, right? Yet they were making more. Now we're simplifying it, right? They took a process where they were doing everything and they cut that stuff out, right? And they said, we're going to get someone in place to take off this part off of our hands so we're free to be able to reach and touch people, right? Y'all see that? They had to give something, right? They had to get something off of their hands, right? They had to get something off of their hands first. Right? They had to let go of something in order to pick something up, in order to embrace people, in order to interact and shake hands. They had to give something off of their hands first to be able to do that. So they simplified it. And so whenever I'm working with clients, right, no matter how big the vision is, I like to make sure that I can make it as simple for them as possible, for them to digest and for us to implement And of course, for us to be able to include other people or plan it out or create a process for it. So the idea is to simplify. You do less and actually makes you do more in that regard. But then again, for you as the coach, speaker, trainer, the less you do, the more time you have to do the amazing things in your business. So that's step one. Step two is to optimize, right? It's to optimize. And what does that mean? Okay. Optimizing meaning after we take a look at your business. So what I would like you to do is for the simplification step is actually map out your business, right? So like imagine your business being a GPS. And what is the journey that your prospect takes, right? So the person that's interested in working with you, how do they find you? Where do they go? Step one, step two, step three, step four, and where do they end up? So map that process out. And then map your process out in terms of how you serve them. Your step one, step two, step three, step four. Map all those things out. Now, after you do that, it's time to optimize. Now, what you'll find is that there is missing opportunities for you to save time and increase revenue in every step of your business. And I'm finding that, folks are working harder than they really need to. And so that each and every step of your business, you should be optimizing it, right? You should be optimizing it. Now, again, similar scenario. And when we go to these events and folks are, everybody else presents from stage, and for the guys who were presenting, and we had our process. We had a way of making sure that we were taking getting full value of the scenario, right? We're getting full value and delivering full value. And so one shift that was made was instead of just selling from the stage at one static price, right? Again, it was, hey, we shift that into doing sales appointments. And the reason you do a sales appointment is because you get a chance to talk to the person and actually meet them where they are. So it's a two-way street in terms of value. Because at the end of the day, if I just sell you a $497 course and you need more than that, then I've just sold you short. If I sell you a $10,000 thing, but you only really need a $5,000 thing, then I've also missed the mark, because you're not going to invest because you really don't need that. But you need our help, but you don't need a $10,000 thing, right? So we've missed the mark in terms of matching up value. And so the reason they made that shift to a sales appointment, which optimized, right, it optimized the sales process, is you get a chance to converse with someone and then really figure out, where things match up. Really figure out where you all meet in terms of value. Really figure out what the person needs and then meet them where they are. So you can give them the service or the product that best suits their needs at that time. So you get a chance to save a sale because you don't have to oversell or undersell. And at the same time, the person gets full value from what you have to offer. So it's a two-way street. I give that example just to show that's one shift that was made in order to optimize a step of the business. Now, there are other places and other ways that this happens, right? It's not the only place. And so there are many steps in your business where this is a thing. You have to optimize your business. So that's that step. And the last one is to systematize. Now, we had a certain way of doing this, right? Again, our system was simple, yet it was consistent. We did it the same way every time. It was, we're going to speak from stage, offer a text number, people will text in, and then we'll get in a one-on-one appointment. And that was it. Like we didn't deviate from that. Some folks may think we fancied it up, but at the end of the day, that was the process. Those were the nuts and bolts of it. Like nothing more than that, nothing less than that. And we made it consistent because it allowed us to be able to, one, right, make our lives easier, two, be able to teach it to other people, and three, have other people do it and assist as a part of the process. Systems are everything. If you don't have a system, again, you don't have a business. I was listening to a Eric Thomas podcast, and if you've never watched Eric Thomas, he's like, yeah, he always had the motivational stuff. Like, he was really good with getting his message and putting craft in his speeches. He had already been speaking at school and empowering people, and he's been doing it for years. But he hadn't really been making money at it, right? Until he met this guy named CJ. Now, CJ was very much of an operator, right? And if you ever watch this stuff, CJ is along with him a lot of times now in terms of him being on the podcast or being at events and things like that. But CJ was essentially his operator. And so CJ put in systems in place that allowed him to grow his business. So and while he found some success prior to CJ, it wasn't until CJ came in with his systems and put systems into their business that he blew up into what he is now in terms of being able to do so many different things, run his brand on a whole other level, and be able to serve on a whole other level while also, serving his family. His wife has MS, he has kids, right? So he has the ability to be able to, operate powerfully with his family while also growing his business on a whole other level. So that's what systems do. And so if you aren't systematizing your business, putting procedures, putting tools, and putting people in place, then you're keeping yourself short. What I would suggest is, again, you take a look at that map that you mapped out, take a look at things that you did in the simplify step, then optimize it, see how you can make every step better. And then lastly, how can you implement a tool, a person, or a procedure to make each part of that step possible, right? So that is the SOS method that I really wanted to get to you. So that was secret number 2. Secret number 3 is invest in a consultant and support to get results faster. Now, again, I said the guys brought me on just so they could get results faster, just so they could make more money. And so I would suggest that you invest in a consultant, right? Everyone should have a team. They bring 3 things: new ideas, productivity, and results. There are new ideas in your head right now that would not have been there if you didn't make time for this video, right? So a good team will give you great ideas and make sure they are implemented. A great team will also put together a powerful group of people all working together towards similar goals. This multiplies everyone's effectiveness exponentially. Because of us, we have clients earning an extra income and saving valuable time and frustration each month implementing our systems. Everyone wins. If you wanted to go to Cayman Islands, would you charter a plane and get behind the controls yourself with no training, no map, and no co-pilot to guide you? So then why the heck would you try and charter your own business to the 6-figure or 7-figure level without a mentor or proven system? I've spent thousands on training, wasted thousands of dollars on dumb ideas, made a ton of calls, but bought a ton of crap that I didn't need, undersold myself for years, and left thousands, if not millions, on the table, read numerous books, and burned multiple years of my life. I will never get back, right? Just trying to figure all this stuff out. Now, you basically have 2 options at this point. One, you go at this alone, right? You can continue on, go at this alone. It's up to you. And you'll probably spend hundreds of thousands of hours actually trying to figure this stuff out, right? And you may end up getting frustrated and wasting another 3 to 10 years of your life. And that's up to you. Or number 2, you learn the proven system from somebody who's not just done it, right? But has actually mastered it. And I happen to think I'm kind of amazing at it, actually. I enjoy what I do, right? So here's how I can help you. My team and I have set aside some time in the next week to speak to you personally about how you can apply these ideas to your business starting today. Now, I just gave you the very broad strokes. Like, I've shown you how this is done in very broad strokes. But the truth is, everybody's business is going to be unique, and you need to know exactly how to apply these shifts to your business individually. So if that's what you want to do, we're more than happy to get you on the phone with you and explain with you what the exact next steps are for you to do that. Now, the cost of this is free. Now, here's the catch, though, because at the end of the day, this is not for anybody. So this is for folks who, all right, you must be absolutely committed to hitting your income goals with total integrity and a true concern for your client's well-being. You must have expertise and real value to deliver. If you're selling a $20 seaweed wrap from an MLM or something, this is not going to be for you. Like I just unfortunately would not be interested. I'm working at that point, and really not. I can't help you at the maximum level if that's what you're doing. Now, this is for you if you want help launching or growing your coaching business to 6 or 7 figures. You are looking to automate your client attraction and acquisition and fulfillment. You truly love helping others. Understand you have to have some skin in the game, so you're ready and willing to invest in yourself and value results above everything else. You are looking to make more money while working less. Who this is not for, do not apply if you want to start 10 different businesses at once. You don't like to put in effort to succeed and like to blame others, make excuses, and complain. You're a skeptic. You want to snap your fingers today and be wealthy tomorrow. I've got those. I've heard those and I've spoken to those. They're not a fit. You're simply in this to become famous. Again, in this for folks who actually want to help people. So again, if you just want to be Facebook famous, then by all means go do that. This is not the place for you to be. Now, why we're doing this, okay? On the call, we'll help you get total clarity about exactly what you want your business to look like and the exact steps you should take to achieve your goals. If you want us to help you, and if we think it's a good fit, we may invite you to become one of our new clients we'll take on this month. Now, if we work together, we'll put you through the same programs we put our successful coaches and speakers through. The curriculum designed to get you to multiply your revenue, reach your income goals, and beyond with maximum leverage. And we'll be expecting you to utilize our new system, saving yourself time and bring in more revenue within 6 weeks. Now apply now, right? Just text the word BUILD to 240-696-2009. Now, again, this is for anyone who, okay? So this is for anybody. If you're a coach, speaker, and you want to save more money, save your time, and multiply your revenue, this is for you. If you're tired of writing your way to success with 1 million books, then this is for you. If you're ready to have time to grow your business, spend more time with your family, and not feel like you have to battle between the two, this is for you. If you want to help more people, make more impact, and take the cap off of your revenue, this is for you. If you have an audience right now that you're not monetizing properly, this is for you. If you have an expertise that somebody needs because, again, without it, their life is doomed, this is for you. So if this sounds like something that you want to do and you want to start, over the next 5 days, we have set aside some time to talk to you and see if we're a good fit to work together. Your call will go for roughly 45 minutes, and we'll map out an exact action plan for you to follow so that you can hit your income goals this year. Okay? 45 minutes. So excited about the 45 minutes that we left out the space, right? Now, this call will probably be the most valuable 45 minutes you invest in yourself this year. Now, again, you have 2 choices. Okay, choice number 1, you can go at this alone based off the information we went over in this video today. Choice number 2, you can apply to work with us right now and potentially have this up and running within the next 6 weeks with an automated business. Okay, during the breakthrough session, we're going to get you crystal clear on the system you should be using for your business so that it flows like a river, optimizes your skills, and generates more revenue. We're going to get you crystal clear on your ideal income generating mechanisms that fit your style, your life, and your skills. And we're going to get you clear on exactly how you can maximize your current audience and streamline your interactions with your new prospects that enter your world. We will cover all of this through the breakthrough session. Now, make a commitment to yourself. I think you deserve it. And you're here, you invested the time. I know you have something great to offer. You deserve it. Now, what do you do next? Okay? apply now. Text BUILD to 240-696-2009. Fill out the short application, select the time and date for a strategy call, and then make sure you hurry up because spots are limited. I really don't work with but so many people at one time because it's counterproductive, right? It takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to be able to pour into everybody. I want to make sure that you get your fair share. So again, apply now. Text the word BUILD 240-696-2009. Now, just I want you to meet a few folks. Meet Sandra. That's not really her name, but again, I like to protect my client's identity. Okay. Sandra is a financial success coach that had an idea to provide additional content to her existing audience. Now, within a week, we had a system in place for her to market to her existing folks and sell out her virtual event. And thankfully, she was able to generate an additional $4,000 that month in bottom line revenue. Can't make this stuff up. Here goes your screenshot, right? Now, here's Kathy Jordan. Had lucky enough to speak to her about her business. We got on a long strategy call that I gave away one day. And, she's got a chance to meet and just speak on what she did. And it was a great conversation. She has to map everything out for her in terms of what she needed to do. And here's what she said back. She said, he has really broken down into bite-sized chunks that I consume. And now I have a plan that's doable. The value he gives is something you have to experience for yourself. First off, Kathy, if you're watching this, I appreciate it. Hopefully you're out there still doing amazing things. But at the end of the day, like my goal with that call was just to make things simple, right? To simplify it. And then make sure that she had a plan to go out and act on every step of it without feeling like you had to go back and then learn all these separate things. I wanted to make it simple and actionable. And then lastly, I had a client named is Dr. C. I won't give her full identity. Okay, but Dr. C is a religious leader, and she has quite an audience. So, religious figure and life coach. And she wanted to launch a teleconference series. Okay, so within 3 weeks, we set up a system that allowed her and her team to generate an additional $15,000 in their business. I can't make this stuff up. Okay, once you do this math, there were over 200 people that registered for this event, and there were $77 a pop. Okay, that was a pretty penny. Now, so again, do your math, but that seems like a pretty profitable day. And what was amazing was that, again, it wasn't that it was overcomplicated. It was that her team was able to focus on them getting ready for the event while also having help. And by getting help in place, right? Okay, they were able to take advantage. Okay, they were able to take advantage of my help and get everything implemented faster, right? So they could get their idea into action sooner. And that saves money. Oftentimes, that's the make or break. Because again, I've been at this for a while, and I understand. So this is the last thing I want to say, right? Because I understand. I've been at this for a while, as I said, and I understand. You right now have an idea. You have a goal. You have a mission. And you're watching this. You've been at this for some time. And a lot of times what happens, and to be frank, those ideas never see the day of light. Not because you don't have the skills. Not because people don't need it. Not because there isn't a market for it. Not because your books aren't good. You can't speak from stage. Right? Not because you don't have the capacity to fill those things out. But because you don't know exactly what to do. You don't know the exact streamlined process. You spend so much time and effort of building the thing that you never actually finish it. You spend so much effort and time of planning the thing out because you actually never have the energy to go through and construct it. You spend so much energy and emotion dreaming and fighting with the dream that you don't have enough capacity to go back and then build the dream. You get defeated before you even get there. And again, it's not because you're not a good person. It's not because you're not a good speaker. It's not because you're not a good coach. Just because you don't have that thing. You don't have a team. You don't have something to allow you to step away from all the frustrations and let you get focus on the thing that you're good at. So before you allow yourself to be defeated by your own self, your own frustrations, your own challenges, your own problems, your own life, do us a favor. Text the word build. 240-696-2009. Text the word build. 240-696-2009. Okay. Again, if you have questions for me, go ahead and tag me. Otherwise, that is all I have. I appreciate you and all that you do. Again, I'm Justin Morgan, founder of AutomationMastery.net, to help you, coaches and speakers, create automated systems to save time and multiply your revenue. I'll see you in the next one. And as usual, treat each day as a building block to a better future. Peace.